Alrighty guys, let's talk about the difference between an active investor and a passive investor. Now, a lot of times when people are talking about investment, they think that they're gonna have to go out and they're gonna have to do a ton of work and it's just gonna be so hard and difficult and boring. The truth of the matter is that it's true. However, if you can find a way to invest passively, you don't have to do any of that. So let's talk about the difference between an active investor and a passive investor. So to kind of set the stage, let's talk about what is an active investor and what are some examples. So for example, you could be an active investor in an Amazon store. Now, nothing against Amazon, but for example, you would have to go out, build out your own store. You're gonna have to find products, you're gonna have to source them. And I know because I've gone through Amazon courses and I've gone through this whole process where I really wanted to understand, okay, is this a viable investment for my portfolio or is this not really gonna fit? And so I took so many courses, I can't even tell you how many I've took on Amazon. And I wanted to find out, hey, is this really worth it? Is it legitimate? Is it actually a good way to make money? Or is it gonna be a waste of time? And so my conclusion is that it's definitely an active investment because you have to do a lot of the work yourself. And of course, you can hire an automation team and you can hire people that are gonna run the whole business for you. That might make it a little bit more passive. However, the truth of the matter is that you're probably gonna be the expert, right? And so if you're the expert and nobody else knows what to do, it's going to be difficult for you to be the passive investor in that situation because you haven't been able to delegate effectively to where your employees or your team are working as efficiently as you, the expert, could work. It really starts with designing the store, sourcing the products. You're going to have to order products, whether you're sourcing from China or wherever you're sourcing from. It's probably going to take you a while to get those samples back, test them out, see if they're good, see if they're not that good, and then eventually sell them for a profit, right? So you could use a drop shipping model. You could hold physical inventory. If you're holding physical inventory, that's even more work. I know some people who literally buy a bunch of physical inventory and they store it in the garage or in their living room or their house. And so their whole place is a mess. They have all this stuff laying around. Then they have to package all these things. They have to make sure that they're putting boxes and tape and wrapping on all these different items, and then they're shipping them out. So that's pretty active, right? It's not passive at all. You have to do a lot of work. So essentially what they have is a high paying job. They might be making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, but really what they've given themselves is just a really high paying job where they don't really have a schedule, but they're always working. So for me personally, that's not what I was looking for. Now, another example that I found is a real estate investing. Now, real estate investing is a little bit different. You can find ways to automate it as well. And back to the Shopify example, you can totally automate all of that. There are services that can automate it, but you have to make sure that they handle the process from A to Z. So there's many companies out there that say they're automated, but they're not actually that automated. So just make sure that you're looking into it and making sure you are totally passive as an investor. Now let's jump back to real estate. So real estate, that can be passive or active. If you're thinking about flipping houses, for example, that's a very active style of investing. I know house flippers who are always working. They're working on weekends, on holidays, morning, evening, they're always working. But some of them can't seem to get to the point where they're finally enjoying their money. So they don't have time freedom. They may have a lot of finances, they might have a good amount of money that they have, but they never have the time to actually go out and enjoy that money. And so you want to make sure that as a passive investor, you're setting yourself up to both have financial freedom and time freedom, because they have to work hand in hand. You can't have a bunch of time and no money, and you can't have a bunch of money and no time. It's not a very enjoyable experience either way. Now let's get into real estate investing just a little bit deeper. So if you are a house flipper, you're gonna have to go out and you're gonna have to source these houses. Now if you don't have a team, you're probably gonna have to go knock on doors and find people who are willing to sell you their house, right? And then if you're doing all the work yourself, you probably could do some of it, but it's probably a good idea to hire contractors and people who are licensed to actually do the work. You're gonna have to wait for permits to happen. There's just so much that goes into that process that for a lot of people, it's just not worth it, you know? And at the end of the day, again, you've given yourself a very high paying job. So that's cool and all if that's what you want. If you want that to be your profession and you really enjoy your art that you work on, you enjoy building these houses, you enjoy remodeling them, and you get enjoyment out of that, that's more of a passion project, and that's totally fine. But if you want to be totally passive, again, that's a different story. We want to put ourselves in the back seat while somebody else is driving this investment for us. They're doing everything that they need to do to make this investment profitable, and we as the passive investor are just supplying the finances for this and then paying that person for their work. So you want to have managers in place or operators for each one of your investments. So we've covered Amazon, e-commerce in general. It could be Shopify, Facebook, whatever. We've talked a little bit about real estate now, but maybe there's a different type of real estate that we can actually start seeing some passive income come in. You know, with rentals, I'd say that's probably your best bet. If you're flipping houses, that's very active unless you have a team and you just own the company. But if we start moving into the rental space and you're literally just buying these houses and renting them out, that starts to get a little bit more passive until you get a phone call at 2 a.m. Hey, guess what? Our toilet is overflowing. If you don't have a team, again, you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to service and fix this emergency, right? Because you don't want it to damage the rest of your house. So those are things that can come up when you're renting. But if you have a team in place, if you have a manager in place, maybe a property management company, that's a great way to divert a lot of that work away from you and make you as more of the passive investor. If you're the passive investor, you're not having to do any of that work. But the best type of passive income that I've personally found in real estate is multifamily apartment buildings. So when you buy one of these apartment buildings, especially if it's like 64 units plus, you can find operating companies and management companies very, very easily. And so as long as you have a good company in place and they're not just losing money left and right, you should be profitable, first of all, so you should be cash flowing, but they're also managing your property in such a way that's going to reduce vacancies, right? They're handling any of the maintenance issues. You're probably going to have a staff on site where they're handling any issues that might arise. And at the end of the day, you're just a passive investor. You're in the back seat while they're running the front end of the show. It's a really convenient way to leverage both real estate and passive income. Those are all things that an active investor might want to invest in if they want to really be active in their investments and super involved. Now, me personally, I prefer to be a passive investor because that allows me to invest into many more things. So I've invested over 30, maybe even 40 different things, different industries, different types of investments, and I don't have to be an expert in any of them because I have professional operators that are running each one of my investments. If I'm able to delegate all the little details, delegate the day-to-day management of my investments, operating it, managing it, for example, oil wells, no idea how to run oil wells, but I have an operator that does, and so that benefits me because I don't have to handle any of that work. They are out there in the oil fields running my oil wells. So that makes it super easy for me. Same thing with exotic cars, guys. Exotic cars make a really great opportunity for passive income, but not if you're having to operate it day in and day out, because that creates, again, just a high paying job for yourself, which is fine if that's what you like. But we're here to create passive income. So guys, hope this was helpful to define the line between active income and passive income, specifically when it comes to investing. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.